Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. Today we're going to be kicking off doing all the reviews of everything I got for my birthday. And yeah, we're going to start off with a survival figure. Technically my second one to review on the channel, first one being the Gorgosaurus, and that is the Jurassic World Survival Wild Roar Brachauchenius, I believe is how you pronounce it. But it's a very unique and interesting name for a marine reptile. Most of the time, if I don't know how to really pronounce it, I'm just going to call it a marine reptile. But I believe it's Brachauchenius. A very cool looking one. It's nice to have another marine reptile in the collection because Mattel's marine reptiles are really awesome, and I really like the way this one looks. I love the colors, the sculpt, and the whole new light up feature is very interesting. But we'll get into that in the review. But taking a look at the awesome packaging for the survival line here, and I'm really digging the survival line. I know I pretty much explained a lot of this with the Gorgosaurus, but for the Wild Wars, this one looks really awesome. I love the Ember, the T-Rex from Rebirth, the render up here looking awesome. And then we got the Jurassic World Rebirth little T-Rex logo. Jurassic World Survival, I love the way it looks like a caution sign. It says Jurassic World and it almost looks like a spray painted survival wording with the letters right here. And then you got the Wild War Brachauchenius, Mattel, and the whole background is like a cool little jungle area, which is really cool. And then we got the Jurassic World logo up here. It doesn't say Rebirth, but it's the same colors and everything. It has lights and sounds, so very unique looking. And this whole lineup is about mutations in dinosaurs and using those mutations to survive. So a lot of the Mattel figures this year are going to look kind of, I don't want to say weird, but definitely very unique looking in terms of design. And yeah, sometimes some of Mattel figures look like that. Not all of them. Like this one doesn't have a whole lot of anything that really looks like it's been mutated, but some other figures definitely do have that, such as the Gorgosaurus. That one definitely had a more mutated look to it. Here on the side, bright yellow back right here, it says Jurassic World. I like the little dirty little smears on the yellow back here, just to kind of make it a bit more natural. And I really love the caution tape striping right here. It just, this whole packaging for the survival line is stands out to me, in my opinion, and really stands out when you're at the store. So I really do like that. And then here on the side it says Jurassic World, and here on the back it says Wild War Brachauchenius. You got a little render of the figure with its little light up effect, which again, very interesting. Lights and sounds, light up attack, the Mattel logo, bunch of boring stuff right here, backs up information, the Jurassic World logo, and a bunch of others in the Wild War assortment. We got the Afro Veneer, which I also got, which we'll review later on. Same with the Pteranodon, and then the Ceratosaurus, which I'm currently not super interested in, but yeah, I'm really excited to take a look at the other ones. And yeah, that's basically it for the packaging. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this figure. Alrighty, so here we have the Wild Wars Brachauchenius out of the package. There is a little bit of assembly, you have just to apply the tail on, but other than that, it's all set. And I really love the way this thing looks. I think Mattel does a really good job with their marine reptiles, and this one is another great one that they have done. I really love everything about this. I love the entire sculpt. The size is pretty good too. Like there's something about this one that just seems a bit more massive compared to the previous marine reptiles that they've done, at least in this scale, which we'll do comparisons later. But I really love the way this one looks. I think Mattel did an excellent job. Is it accurate to a real life Brachauchenius? I mean, for the most part, I mean, it kind of gets the main idea down, but obviously the head should be a bit larger and the flippers should be reduced in size, and obviously it has to have like that certain specific shape in terms of the tail fluke. But other than that, I think Mattel did a pretty good job representing this species, even if it's not 100% accurate. So yeah, I think Mattel did an excellent job with this one. So brief little stuff about Brachauchenius. I mean, I've never heard of it before this figure was revealed, so it's always nice to get educated on brand new species that even myself I haven't even heard of, so that's really cool. But Brachauchenius, I believe, is a pliosaur, which are basically like these giant marine reptiles that are not, like, they're similar to mosasaurs, but obviously they're much different. I think they survived, or they lived from like the Jurassic even through part of the Cretaceous, I believe. I could be totally wrong on that, but But yeah, Brachauchenius in particular lived during the Cretaceous, and I think lived, or at least its fossils discovered, I believe, in North America and I think South America. So obviously it's a marine animal, so it's going to be found in many different areas, but that's pretty cool. But yeah, everything about this figure just looks really good. Mattel did an excellent job with this Brachauchenius. So yeah, taking a closer look at it. Hopefully you guys can see it. I know the sunlight's kind of weird with me filming right now, but the head shape looks really awesome. It looks sick. I love the way the head sculpt looks. It looks just like your classic marine reptile, at least in terms of a pliosaur. So I really love the way this one looks from the side right here. Really nice looking detail in the skull right here. Obviously it is shrink wrapped, which isn't accurate to real life, but you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, a lot of the cool detail you see on the skull, it looks really good. I like the eye as well. Even here at the top of the snout, looking really good. And it's, for the most part, quite thin. It should have been a bit more thin in real life, but I think the way Mattel did it is pretty good, I would say. You can see the little nostrils that are sculpted right here, right above roughly the eyes, which I don't even think that's entirely accurate. Maybe they would be a bit more in the front, or maybe they are in the back. I don't know. But the way they're placed here doesn't really quite sit right with me. That I don't know if that means it's inaccurate or not, but you can see little nostrils right there. I love the way how the teeth stick out. It kind of leaves it like a really cool silhouette here at the top, so I think that's really cool. And then here on the underside, you know, just a nice little texture you got. I like the little texture you got in between, or where the teeth are kind of sitting inside the mouth. And by the way, speaking of teeth, they look awesome on this one. You got the rubber teeth. This is the first marine reptile of this size that Mattel has done with this new rubber teeth, and they look so good. And yeah, I love how Mattel's been doing this with their dinosaurs, or their prehistoric animals lately. So I really do love the way the teeth look, and they look really good. I like how they're kind of like different size, and they all have like interlock here at the front. Actually, the lower jaw is a bit more wider than the top jaw, so the teeth kind of like overlap, giving it like an underbite look to it. But either way, I just love the way the teeth look on this skull right here. So I really do like that a lot. On the inside of the mouth, you got the nice little detail for the roof of the mouth. It is very smooth, and then here at the bottom, smooth again, but nice little texture here at the inside. And same with the tongue. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's got some nice little texture on the inside of the tongue as well. Kind of a bit of a glossy coat to kind of give it like that saliva wet look, which is really cool. And then moving on to the neck, a very thick beefy neck. Like you can almost think of like how thick the blubber is like on whales, or even like sea lions, or even walruses. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. Nice little detail in the creases in the skin. And I like you got a lot of little bumpy looking texture on the skin all over the body. You got a lot of it here at the top, just kind of this bumpy texture, and a little bit here more on the head itself, which looks really cool. So yeah, I really do like the way that looks, and nice little lined texture on the skin. And here in the body, a really big beefy body, which looks really good. It seems like a really beefy, muscular animal. Like I said, almost like when you compare it to the mass of like a giant walrus or an elephant seal or something like that. So that is really cool. Really nice texture and detail all throughout the body. It's kind of like this just rough lined texture, but it looks really good for a marine reptile. And like I said, you got a little bit of this bumpy skin protrusions or texture kind of spread out or sprinkled in certain patches across the body, which looks really cool. Kind of adds a bit more texture or life to the sculpt, which is really nice. I don't think they're barnacles. I don't think so. I think it's just large, almost like maybe scales, but just large circular rough patches of skin. And I like how you got a lot of the muscle definition sculpted on the body itself. Mattel did a really nice job on that. You can see where all the little line texture is. So that is really cool how they did that. A lot of cool muscle, definition throughout the sculpt right here, which is really nice. You got some more kind of texture line stretch marks here around where the flippers attached to the body. Then getting closer to the end of the tail, again, you got that really nice texture detail all throughout the rest of the tail, and then some more bumpy patches throughout the tail as well. And then we get to the famous tail fluke that this one has. Again, this one's a much different design for a tail fluke. It looks like it's got like little fins on it on both the top side and the bottom side, and the fins are obviously damaged because there is some rips and some holes in it, so I really like that. I like how Mattel adds that. But yeah, the tail looks pretty good, I would say. Nice detail on the sculpt. So yeah, I really like the sculpt work and the way the little fins look on the tail fluke. Speaking of the flippers, obviously it's got 4 flippers, but they're both 2 different sizes. The front flippers are really small. Well, not really small, but they're equally sized, I would say, compared to the animal itself, or better proportioned. But I really do like the way they look. You got really nice detail on the flippers, like a really nice texture look to it, you can see. So Mattel did an excellent job with the detail. So it's not like scales, but just kind of like a rough textured skin that they added to it, which looks really good. And you can see the little lines, which could be where the little digits, the little finger digits on the flippers, kind of like what you see in whales today. So that is really cool. You can kind of see that pop out to the sculpt, and depending on your light source, it kind of puts a shading on that. And it's really cool how these flippers are very jagged, very ripped up, and there's holes in them, so it kind of gives it like that really naturalistic look. Like, these flippers aren't going to look pretty for the rest of their life. It's going to have some damage because, you know, this animal's living its life. It's going to have other marine reptiles biting at its flippers. It's going to get damaged, you know. So I really do like the ripped up, jagged look for these flippers. And then here on the hind flippers, these flippers are massive. These are really big looking flippers. Definitely a little too big to be accurate. I don't even know if these would even be good for swimming. They might cause a bit of drag, but again, I don't know a whole lot about how that works. But to me, these look way too heavy to help you move through the water, in my opinion. But yeah, the flippers, despite their massive size, they look really good as well. Nice amount of jagged texturing, or a jagged look in terms of the sculpt here at this front part of the flipper, and really messed up, ripped up, jagged edges here around this side of the flipper. You can see there's a bunch of holes in it, a lot of little marks maybe here on the side, kind of ripped up marks. So these flippers have definitely been through a lot in life. And again, a lot of nice detail in the texture of the flippers. It looks like there's a bit more scaling on this one than the previous ones, but either way, the detail just looks amazing here, just based on the light source. So Mattel did an excellent job with the sculpt work of the flippers there. Same with the other flipper. Nice amount of ripped up holes, and you can actually see how each one has like a different number of holes. Like on its left side, the front flippers have 2 holes, and on the right side they each have 3 holes, or actually this one has 4. I forgot about this tiny one, or 5 actually. I don't know why I said 4, but there's 5 on this one. So yeah, I like how there's different variation between the rips on the flippers, so they're very asymmetrical. Which is really cool, and it kind of gives it, again, a naturalistic look. Now, if we move on to the underside of the Brachauchenius, I really love this little detail they did here. You got these little lined grooves here on the underside of this marine reptile. And again, that is very similar to what you got in whales today. You know, like a humpback whale, for example. They got like these little lines on the underside of their bellies, which I think has to do with how they swim. I don't know if it has what purpose it serves for the whales to have these little grooves, but I like how they added on here. Obviously, Mattel put those little grooves on the Brachauchenius only because the Mosasaurus in Rebirth had these little grooves as well, so I had to kind of give it like a whale-like appearance by having these little grooves. So obviously Mattel took inspiration from that and put it on this marine reptile, and I have no problem with it. I know it's not accurate. You know, marine reptiles would not have these grooves in real life. At least that's what I've been told, but I think it's a really cool little creative decision for Mattel to add these little grooves onto this marine reptile. It kind of gives it kind of a unique look, in my opinion, so I really do like that a lot, and you got a little bit more of that going down the tail. So yeah, really nice detail on this Brachauchenius. Now, in terms of the colors are really nice too. They fit perfectly for a marine reptile, just some nice blue ocean colors. Primarily the body is like this really dark blue color, which looks really nice, and then it's got like these light blue little striped markings or splotches here at the top of the body, which looks really nice as well. So I really do like the little light blue striping that it has. And here on the underside, you got like this silver coloring or striping, splotching, or whatever here on the underside, mostly on the underside of the jaw, through the neck, and at least to the chest. It doesn't go down the side of the rest of the underside of the animal, unfortunately. But I really do like the little colors that they added here. It's really cool. I never seen silver on a Mattel dinosaur before, so that's really cool how they kind of added that on there. And yeah, I think that's really cool, and I think it's kind of cool because it's gonna have like that glistening effect, maybe if it's underwater. Which I know this is an electronic animal, but you know, for me, I only care about the electronics in terms of the video. But other than that, I'm gonna put this in the water for pictures. So, but that's just me. Here in the head, you got the nice little orange for the eye and dark slit pupil, which is the same color as the main blue color that they have here. But I like the little slit. I like that color, bright colored eye. Kind of makes it stand out. And the teeth are molded in like this beige color. They're not painted, obviously. And the entire inside of the mouth has like this fleshy pink color that we've seen in Mattel figures all the time. So that's nothing new, but it works well regardless. So yeah, a very cool looking marine reptile, I would say. I love the colors and I love the sculpt. Now for articulation, it's only just for the tail and the flippers, the front flippers here. Just move up and down, give it some nice swimming motions, and it can pivot, or not pivot, but rotate 360. Same with the hind limbs, up and down. Has like a really nice, satisfying clicking effect. And then it can rotate 360. And then the tail can obviously spin, but obviously I don't really care about that. It only spins because that's what you have to attach on. And in terms of articulation, that is pretty much it. Just the 4 flippers and the tail. Everything else is due to the action feature, which for these new Wild War figures, Mattel decided to add lights to these figures. So they're basically taking inspiration from the bioluminescent Parasaurolophus from the Camp Cretaceous and adding it to these creatures. I was a little bit skeptical, about the light up features on these dinosaurs, because I feel like Mattel, when it comes to these dinosaurs or these prehistoric animals that they make, it has to be a bit more naturalistic and educational in a way. So lights, you're not going to see those in real life animals unless it has bioluminescence, but you're not going to see it on a Triceratops or a Parasaurolophus or something like that, you know? So it was a little weird to see that Mattel's going to add that on here, but this is survival. Again, these animals are mutated for the purpose of this toy line, so maybe they developed a weird way to glow in the dark. Maybe that has bioluminescence in it. I don't know, but it's really weird. This is my first one to review here on the channel. But yeah, there's a button right here, and you push it, makes noise, does an action feature, and it glows. So let's go ahead and check that out. Alright, so that's all you do. You just press it, the neck goes down, and the jaw opens, kind of like the Liopleurodon, and it makes noise. But it also glows in the dark as well. In terms of the sound effects, I'm noticing a lot of different sounds. So let's go ahead and check those out one more time. That sounds like a Stegosaurus sound effect with maybe a little bit of a grunting here and there. Okay, that one sounds like an alligator or a crocodile. Has like that gurgling, hissing sound that you recognize from like movies and shows. So that's really cool. That fits well with this one. Okay, so that one was obviously an Tyrannosaurus from Camp Cretaceous that has like that honking, gurgling sound to it. So that's really cool. Again, not like mosasaur sound effects or something like that, but the sound effects that they have, if you don't know what sounds they belong to, it does sound like it would belong to a marine reptile. So the sounds are pretty good, even though they are using other animals. But I really do like the little crocodilian sound effect they have in there. In terms of the sound effects, it's way too bright out here to see it, but let's go ahead and go inside and check out the light up feature. Alright, so as you can see, the light up feature works really cool. It actually has a really cool effect. And I really do like it, even though if it's not like something I'm used to seeing from Mattel. But it has a really cool effect, and actually a bioluminescence on a marine animal actually works for some reason. So I think this marine animal and the light up feature actually works. It's like it has bioluminescence, so that actually is pretty cool. So I really do like the little light up feature. It's actually pretty nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at some comparisons. Alrighty, so for comparisons, here we have the Brachauchenius compared with the other marine reptiles that Mattel has made in this Wild War size range, as well as a human. Here we got Dr. Henry Loomis. So we have the Brachauchenius compared with the Kronosaurus from the 2023 Dino Trackers line and the Liopleurodon from the Dominion toy line in 2022. So these are the main three marine reptiles that we have of this scale, and they all look amazing together. I like how they're all different, you know, because they're all representing three different species, and I think Mattel does an excellent job when it comes to their marine reptiles. All three of these just look amazing, and you can just see the huge difference between all of them, especially in the size of their heads, the size of their flippers, especially like the Kronosaurus has tiny, probably a bit more well-proportionate flippers in my opinion. The Liopleurodon has like super long flippers, and the Brachauchenius has like different size variations of the flippers. But yeah, really cool to see these. Now Brachauchenius was not a very big marine reptile based on what I've researched, so this might be pretty accurate compared to a human. It might be a bit smaller, but either way it does look really nice. The Kronosaurus itself should be a bit bigger, but other than that, all three of these look really great together. Alright everyone, so that's about to wrap it up for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For my final thoughts, I really do love this Brachauchenius. It's an awesome figure, really great sculpt. I love the colors, the action feature is really nice, and the color, the little light up feature is actually pretty good on this one. We'll have to see how it is for the others that we have yet to review, coming up anyway. But yeah, I really do like this one a lot. I recommend it. I mean, it's a pretty cool one if you're someone that's into collecting every single species like I am. But yeah, a really nice little marine reptile added to the collection, and I really do like it a lot. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next video.